Today is day 4 of Love the Fuck Out of You challenge. So we've been kind of going along and trying to retrain ourselves. And for those of you who were on the Epic Happiness Challenge, like it started way back then. So if you got that and you're doing this, like that was double the dose. If you haven't seen those, you can go back on my profile page and you can search through the videos, I think, and they should be all in order and all numbered. So it's a really good thing to do. But my message to everyone is that if you cannot find a way to love yourself, then you have no capacity to love, to truly love, to unconditionally love anybody else, and you block other people from returning to you the love that you want. And so that's the focus of the whole challenge. So on day 1, I have my paper right here so I can remember what we did. Day 1, it was change your story. To look at your past, not from a, oh God, look how much I fucked up perspective, but from a, wow, I learned a lot and look what I've become perspective. So that was day 1. Day 2 was be your own bestie. And that's kind of my favorite day because that's when we really get into inner critic and changing the story the inner critic is telling all the time. Because that can be like a vicious little sucker. So the test was, I think the analogy I used was just perfect that day. If you walked in and spilled something on your carpet, you'd be having this whole thing in your head going on like, oh, you're so fucking stupid. I can't believe I did this. I'm so clumsy, blah, blah, blah. But if your best friend dropped something on your carpet, you'd be like, oh, girl, it's okay. We'll clean it up. So you have to learn to talk to yourself the way you talk to your bestie. Yeah, girl. And they still there, Brandy, so you can go back and watch them. Like, I just post them all. Yesterday, and which spills over in today. So day 3 was making sacred space and time for yourself. And that is just about, when I say sacred, I mean sacred in the sense of, it doesn't have to be airy-fairy. These people with the trees, I tell you. It doesn't have to be, he wants to come right over here. It doesn't have to be like airy-fairy and lighting incense unless that's something you want to do. Like, that's fine, but it's not required. But what it's really about is making a daily appointment with yourself to have time to be alone and to just do nothing and think. So that was day 3. I keep waiting for him to go away. So today is day 4 and we're back. We're back with the inner critic. And this time we're going to do a different technique. I'm just going to wait. So today is all about positive rebuttals. So think about when your inner critic starts talking shit to you, right? And maybe it says something like, oh, you're so stupid. So you have to catch that and find a way to turn it around. And the way I would do it, like, this is just my positive rebuttal to that, because I used to go through this. So when my mind says you're so stupid, I say, but people tell me I'm smart all the time. So it's just like a little pushback to that statement, and it's in a positive way. Or I ain't stopping. If your mind tells you, oh my God, you're so fat, then my positive rebuttal would be, that's why so many people compliment me on my looks. So you get the idea, like, the shit comes up in your head just because you're used to thinking about that stuff. And I talked about in the Epic Happiness Challenge about the plasticity of the brain. So just because you've been thinking that way for a really long time, and it might be a really long time, it's not set in stone. You can always change how your mind works. You have control over that. You just don't feel like you do. So positive rebuttals. Every time your mind comes up with some bullshit is trying to talk about you, you just flip it around and use a statement that doesn't set off your bullshit radar. So like if your mind tells you you're so fucking fat, don't say I'm fucking skinny. If you don't feel like you are, you have to say something that's believable to your brain so it will accept what you're saying and get quiet. Sometimes if it's a really big subject that you have a lot of resistance on, it might push back again. Just keep pushing back. So just imagine you were, again, having this fight with your best friend, and your best friend was saying, oh my God, I'm so fucking fat. And you'd be like, girl, no, you're not. And that dude was looking at you the other day. You saw him. Like, you just talk to yourself like that. But this is really about retraining your brain on how you want it to speak to you. And I can promise you, you might think that there's no chance in hell that that is ever going to happen. I thought that. I thought, I'm stuck with this thing. I'm going to have to listen to it for the rest of my life. I'm going to have to learn to ignore it. I'm going to have to do something. And then recently, well, for a while, it got really quiet. It wouldn't talk to me at all, which was a nice relief. But now lately, I'm the one that's saying something negative, and then my brain is telling me something positive, which is kind of nice. And I'm enjoying that new thing. And it just keeps like soothing me. Like now it tells me, just relax. It's going to be okay. You know, everything always works out anyway. So you're turning your enemy into an ally just by doing these little things. And it's really going to come faster than you think. You just have to keep working on it and just have the awareness. And when you catch it, you catch it. Sometimes you catch it and you're just tired. It's not going to blow the whole thing up. But when you hear it come and say something nasty, you know, you always fuck things up. I do plenty of things right. Isn't that a nicer thing to say? And it's not like over the top, but it's just right. And as you continue to just gradually, slowly make the little step, it'll start to get quieter. And then eventually it's going to turn all the way around. So keep, just be aware today and blend it with that be your own bestie. So if you're having trouble coming up with a positive rebuttal, a positive comeback, then just think about, what would I tell my bestie if she was saying this to herself? So just keep turning it around. These are baby steps. Hey, Miss Tina. These are baby steps. It's designed to be easy. It's designed to be small little things that don't overwhelm you. Every day, just keep plugging away. And I promise you, at the end of this week, you are going to love yourself more than you ever have. And then you're going to continue to look for ways to love the fuck out of you. That's what it's all about. And that's what you have to do. This is your work. All right? So, I'm going to go now. But if you have any questions, you can hit me up in my inbox. I'm still doing one card pulls. So look for that post. And, if you have a question, you can ask. But I'm just doing one card and telling you what I see based on your energy. So that'll be going on for the rest of the day. I'll try to do that probably till about, I don't know, probably for a couple more hours. So jump on there if you would like a card. And otherwise, I'll see you back tomorrow. And I'm just trying to see, tomorrow's really good. So come back tomorrow. If you missed any, go back and watch them. And hit me up in my inbox if you need anything in the meantime. Hey, Anjali, I was just finishing, but you can go back and watch it. All right. Love you guys. Keep plugging away at it. Promise you, it's working. And I'm going to pull a card for the group to see, for the people who are in the challenge, to see how it's working out. Okay? Love and light to you all.
Mom,
and I'll talk to you soon.